we'll see if I don't think we're going to see RSVP go for Void Rays this game. If his maybe he could open with like a Void Ray to deny a third. I don't think we'll see him try to force his opponent to go for tech routes because BuBuKitty has shown that he does not respond to threats.
Agreed. He does not negotiate with terrorists there, Kibbles. Guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We are going right into this next game. It should be a great one, as that first one was absolutely amazing. Don't go anywhere. This is the Playhem Daily, casted by Katu and Kibbles. Are you going to run the commercial? Shall I?
Just wait until it catches up.
All right, perfect.
And run.
Boo. I actually have to change the colors as well because
Gotcha.
RSVP was like, oh, I just lost with the red pieces. They're terrible. I'm going to switch to blue. It's all the red pieces' fault, Kibbles. If he would have been playing blue from the get-go, the blue pieces would have obeyed him a lot better and he would have won.
That was such an interesting game.
Yeah, man, BuBuKitty definitely showing us he has the better understanding of the matchup, whereas RSVP has these like preconceived transitions in his mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
he's like, I'll make 5 Void Rays, so you'll either go one of these 2 things, and High Templar counter both of them. And BuBuKitty's just like, actually, I'm going to go neither of them, and your High Templar are going to be useless.
Yeah.
I'll just use Mass Queen to defend, because I have been watching a lot of Vile Spanichua lately.
All right, guys, welcome back to the game. We've got our Protoss player here, Complexity's RSVP. He's spawned in the top left corner. He's playing the blue Protoss pieces, and he's also going for a Forge Fast Expand, whereas BuBuKitty here going for that hatch first play yet again, and a second probe here getting sent out from RSVP. Looks like he wants to be a little bit more aggressive this time around with that cannon rush.
You know, he did the fake cannon rush last time, and BuBuKitty reacted just like he should. And I'm curious if BuBuKitty's going to underreact this time. No, he doesn't. Sends down 5 additional drones, so he's got 6 drones down here. Sometimes in tournament style of play, stuff like this can work extremely well. Because you see a player, when you do the fake cannon rush the first time, then they see it again, they're like, oh, it's probably just another fake cannon rush.
Oh my
This time,
God.
it is not. Did you see the drone positioning there by BuBuKitty?
Yeah, Bubu is just so freaking good. He's like, who is it? Crazy Moving from Infinity 7. He has the best cannon rush defense. But you know what? I think BuBuKitty just controlled his drones better than Crazy Moving did.
That was, if in case you guys missed it, he put the drone in between the 2 mineral patches so that RSVP actually couldn't go back and place the pylon to create the wall off and allow the cannon to warp in. So now BuBuKitty literally just made RSVP build a pylon for nothing. That pylon will be promptly killed, and RSVP should be just a little bit behind.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference is that usually Crazy Moving holds off the cannon rush with like 3 or 4 drones, which is really just like the unbelievable prowess of his drone control.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like BuBuKitty's drone control was better, but he did have more drones there. So overall, his
just uber safe.
Yeah, so he was like uber safe, but his cannon rush defense ended up being a little bit less effective because he did pull more drones.
Yeah, so I'm wondering right now, last game, we saw BuBuKitty win from being way behind. Like, not just behind, but like way behind. And right now, RSVP is, not astronomically behind, but he was pretty behind. So now, RSVP is, and he's going to find this probe behind you. It's hidden up in the corner. RSVP is himself a little behind now, instead of BuBuKitty. BuBuKitty took last game, and RSVP was ahead. So what's he going to be able to do this game? Shakara's Plateau, a map that tends to favor Protoss players a little. I don't think we're going to see RSVP make the tactical errors that he made last game, assuming transitions out of the Zerg player that actually didn't happen. So what do you think, Katu? Last game, BuBuKitty won when he was behind, and now he starts off ahead.
And he's going for a super quick lair, which is important to note. I mean, he started this lair at about the 5.5 minute mark. Like, that's crazy fast. So I have a feeling that he's actually going to be rushing for mutas here in the early stages of the game. Meanwhile, back home, we see that RSVP is perpetually chrono boosting these probes. And I really like that play. Honestly, in my opinion, chrono boost should be exclusively used on probes until like the 9 or 10 minute mark. And if Protoss players started doing that instead of trying to sneak out upgrades earlier, then they'd be in a great position. Because those upgrades really don't need to be used defensively very often. They're mostly offensive upgrades. And if you just get a higher economy, you're going to be able to just plow ahead with a stronger army and get to that late stage of the game where your more effective units really start becoming more important. So I really like that from RSVP. He has been going for those probes, and we see that he's up to 40 probes versus the 29 drones of his opponent. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This is insane. So, you guys are looking at the production tab right now. You're seeing what we're seeing. It's ridiculous. BuBuKitty lining up to go for a massive Ling drop into the main. Timing his upgrades perfectly. Pneumatized Carapace just started when Ventral Sax was halfway done.
BuBuKitty!
This is going to be awesome, man. He's dropping a third behind this.
Dude,
and,
I
if,
love it.
If he just does a little economic damage here...
And he's going to do more than a little. I mean, look at what RSVP has right now. He's got 2 sentries. He's got 2 sentries.
I am slowly coming to love this player.
Slowly, I just jumped on board right here in the past, like, 10 seconds. I was like, oh my god, BuBuKitty! Damn. I mean, his name was already awesome, and I loved just, like, yelling it and saying it. But now with this, like, drop rush... He is literally just re-innovating Zerg play. He got Metabolic Boost, Carapace, and Pneumatized Carapace, Ventral Sax, and Metabolic Boost all at the same time. And look at this. He has got 7 full Overlords here about to drop. That's 7 times 8. That's 56 Zerglings about to get dropped here, guys.
And RSVP has pretty much nothing to answer for it with this really quick robo. His gateways were behind. He pumped out an Immortal and an Observer. I mean, BuBuKitty might just win right here, Kato.
Dude, RSVP right now is like, what the fuck? Usually I'd say WTF, but this warrants an F-bomb, Kibbles. This is so freaking awesome. BuBuKitty here, just overpowering his opponent. And like you said, he's got a 3rd base to fall back to. He's killed a ton of probes, and now getting the nice, beautiful surround there. The Immortal gonna fall, the Sentries and Zealots as well. And he's just dropping more and more Zerglings over in his opponent's base.
Yeah, he just sent those Overlords out, reloaded them all. He's killed 15 workers at this point.
Dude,
I gotta say, though, RSVP is still up 10 workers, man. But BuBuKitty, this is, you know, I honestly feel like this is a position he loves being in. Where he knows Protoss, like last game we saw Protoss went Void Ray, and he was way, way, way down in workers. Like, he was down 15 workers at one point. But he had a 3rd base, and I think he likes having the 3rd. And then knowing Protoss can't push out for a small period, like a window of time, droning up like an absolute fiend during that window of time, and continuing to drop.
Well, it's important to note that these Zealots have +1 attack, which means that these Zerglings here do fall quite quickly to them. And look at this, RSVP's positioning his units over in the corner so that he can't really get surrounded. So BuBuKitty here is actually going to fall back with his Overlords. He doesn't want to engage us. He's like, you know what? I don't want to lose more Zerglings. I want to continue exerting my map control, and I'm going to make a round of 11 drones. And since I have these Zerglings, you can't really push out, because if you do, I'm just going to drop you, and you're going to die. So here, BuBuKitty just going to start making those drones, and look, just like that, he's caught up to his opponent in that economy, and he's also got about the same supply, the same army value. He's not in the worst position. Like you said, I think he just likes being in this position. It guaranteed him taking that 3rd base, and now he can just switch into whatever he wants, which appears to be Banelings and Roaches.
Yeah, you know, that was a really good point, is that he guarantees himself a 3rd base. That's the extra production you really need. And now he can drone up like crazy. He's at 47 workers to the 51 of Protoss. But like 51 workers on 2 base is a little actually less efficient than 47 workers on 3 base. So
yeah, and we see that reflected in the income tab. Now, RSVP is moving out on the map, but we've got a ton of Banelings out for BuBuKitty, and he's only got Sentries and Zealots. And you know what Banelings do extra damage to, Kibbles?
Was it I think I saw this on Team Liquid the other day. It was Sentries and Zealots, right?
It is Sentries and Zealots. Good thing you read Team Liquid. They are oftentimes right. And, of course, Zealots and Sentries, both of them are light armored units, which means that these Banelings are just like, pew, 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 pew. and they just do so much damage, Kibbles. It's almost not even fair. And look at this. After using those drops to do what damage he could, he's now going to use it to drop Banelings on top of his army, his opponent's army, which means that those sentries, their force fields are going to be useless, and they're basically just going to die.
How cool is this? Opening up with the Overlord drops, making them efficient instead of just being like, oh, I'm going to go for Baneling drops. Being like, no, I'm actually going to use early drops and decimate you, and then follow it up with Baneling drops because I already have the drops researched. This is pretty sweet, man. So now going to deny this third, the Protoss army completely out of position, sitting up in their main, expecting another drop up there, but in fact, BuBuKitty is forcing the cancel out of RSVP Shakur's Plateau, a map that is so hard for Protoss to grab their third, don't you know? So now I'm a little concerned for RSVP, my friend. He is getting ready to move in.
And he doesn't have any sentries in position, so all of the roaches are actually going to get there. And now here come the Banelings. They're going to be doing their huge drop action. And look at that Protoss army just disappear, Kibbles. Oh my god, the Banelings even doing tons of damage to the Archons. That Immortal going to fall. Only 3 Archons left. Some Zealots getting warped in, but guess what, Kibbles? Zealots are terrible against roaches, and here come the roaches. And you know what? Those Banelings took out tons of probes as well. And BuBuKitty here in just such a dominant position, going to take out those Archons. He's one-shotting them with these roaches here with their +1 upgrades. And RSVP, who's done such a great job of getting back into this quarterfinal, is now going to lose to BuBuKitty's crazy aggressive Zerg play.
BuBuKitty is the new Houdini, man. This guy is one of my... wow, like, this is the coolest playstyle I'm ever seeing out of Zerg. I don't remember him playing this absurdly. There's the GG out of RSVP. I don't remember playing this absurdly, man, against other races, but against Protoss, my dear God, I need to follow this guy on Twitter. I'm actually going to message him. I will let you guys know if he has a Twitter.